And now, back to PTR Radio.
I made a little list of some of the things that you discussed. Bestiality, abortion, AIDS, Irishmen who drink, nuns, premature ejaculation, breastfeeding, and farts.
This is PTR Radio.
And welcome, everybody, to another edition of PTR Radio here on the fabulous interweb. Oh, what a list of topics we have for you this evening.
None of them were on the list or just read to us.
Nope. Well, I don't know. Depends on what things kids are into nowadays. You know? Because we will be talking about children this evening. Not super young children, but children nonetheless. So... You know, it's one of those things. You know, we will be talking about millennials this evening. We have at least 2 links regarding millennials, which is always a great topic because we were before them, you know, but not by much.
Yes, although
I think it's depending upon which chart we could be them the very beginning.
I've seen some things. I think we're like in this in-between zone. I think we're just barely this in-between zone that has been renamed.
Yeah. But you know what? I think first, for those that might be new to the show, because every once in a while that happens, we should introduce ourselves. My name is Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I'm your mother.
No, you're not. You are not Mother.
I'm like the Ape Man.
That's right. You can listen to us on YouTube, Facebook. That's probably where you're listening to us right now. Or you can always download the show after the fact on our podcast feed. It's usually up a day or 2 afterwards, so we get some of the audio little, you know, quibbles and quabbles taken care of. Trying to get better at putting that up in a timely manner. I think last time I got it up on Wednesday. Record on a Monday, put it up on a Wednesday. That's pretty good for us. So
yeah.
And for those that might have noticed, a couple days after that, on Friday, the return of On the Road Again with Shaggy was issued out to the podcast feed. A couple days after that, made its way onto YouTube and Facebook. And we did discuss the Facebook privacy thing. Now, did either one of you 2 listen?
No.
I started to, but I got to be honest with you. I struggle to find time to watch the damn movies at this point.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the fact that we went on live last week, so we were in kind of a crunch.
Yeah.
But my job, I've never felt, I never felt like I wanted to put my fist to a wall more often than in the past month at my job.
Oh, it's been that bad over at BCC?
Well, yeah, because, you know, I'm learning a new job function.
Oh, no. Are you guys doing more with less?
Well, that's the status quo in the industry.
Yeah. Colin and I know all that all too well.
Right? But it's more, and it's not so much that I dislike the job function, but I'm dealing with a lot more project managers. And for the most part, the project managers are good. It's the people asking stuff of them that I want to punch. And that's about all I can say without indicting myself or indicting myself.
That's right. We wouldn't want you to do either of those 2 things.
But I will say that I appreciate doing the show because I have lots of toys to play with.
That's right.
Yes. See, I have the problem of I am supposed to do my job, but to do my job, I need things from Shaggy's place.
Yeah.
They don't feel like giving it to me.
Well, see, our job is to be an obstructionist. That's what everybody believes my department is. We're the Department of Obstruction. All right, we might as well be the DOO. All right, because really that's what that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be, getting those things in the way of Colin and his crew to do their job. I mean, really, what else can we possibly do?
Although
we're
hearing good things at the moment, so I'm happier this week.
I mean, look, I have joked that one of the things that I hated about my job was people would come to me and say, "I need you to. We need to be ready to handle this, and the theme needs to be unicorns and rainbows. Go, do it." And meanwhile, I'm just like,
by the way, I learned something. I'm starting to do trivia homework for my next trivia night, which isn't until like September. But did you know that the national animal of Ireland is the unicorn? It really is.
I'm sure. I mean, rainbows, I guess. Yeah.
By the way, if you want to chime in with the show, feel free. Tweet at PTR Radio or go ahead and comment in on our Facebook or YouTube feeds. Mike is watching those now, and if your comment's good enough, he'll even put it up on the show, so you can get your 5 minutes of glory.
In fact, there is a call-in.
There is a call-in. There's a couple of call-in topics that you can do, actually, depending upon if you're following me personally or if you're following the show. And we're going to get to those here in a little bit. The number, if you want to call in about any of our topics, 877-787-8822. We know there's a delay, so we're going to try and announce the topics before we start talking about them so that you guys have a chance to call in if you want to discuss them. So, again, that's 877-787-8822. All that information is up on the screen when you're watching the video. So, yeah, no, unicorn. I'm like, wow, really? And so that led me down a click hole of other countries that have imaginary animals as their national animal. So I have all kinds of questions now for trivia nights. But no, Colin, really our job is to put as many layers of bureaucracy and paperwork in front of whatever request you have. And then while you're filling out that bureaucracy and paperwork, to change it and then tell you, hey, you filled out the wrong Form 21C. We modified it last week. We know it takes you a month to fill it out because it's so complicated. So now you have to start over again.
Yeah.
And by the way, we know that you just passed gate 3, but you forgot some paperwork that was needed for gate 2. So you have to start back again.
Yeah.
I don't understand project management in the state of Illinois. I never will. I don't want to have to. I just want to say, hey, give me the stuff I want and let me get it done. I understand where you're coming from.
Well, no, we're actually through all the gates.
Yeah. Ooh, wow.
And now that we're through all the gates, now they're asking us why we want to do what they already approved.
So you've already gone through the gatekeeper, so now you're looking for the keymaster, is what you're telling me. A little Ghostbusters humor goes a long way.
We want to. We're doing lots of new stuff, and that is hurting people's brains.
Wow, that should hurt people's brains.
Why do you want to put stuff on the cloud? Because we have a directive from the governor telling us to?
It's a horrible directive. It's a bad idea.
Apparently, it's not a good.
Well, let's talk about
directive from the governor. Is not good enough.
You're talking about new stuff. Let's talk about old stuff real quick first. Mike, you brought up this topic here. Now it seems to be a recurring thing with us, where we every single week, every couple of weeks, we find more and more shows that are classics from our childhood. Be they. All right, I'm Roseanne or whatever that's getting, that's getting remade now. G.I. Joe was remade into an action movie. All right.
Okay, so let's before we jump into this one.
By the way, did you know Muppet Babies is back again? They're making new ones.
No, and there's probably a reason I don't know that because I didn't like them to begin with. So, I did start watching Lost in Space on Netflix.
Okay.
And I can understand why a lot of people are upset with it. Mm-hmm. But generally speaking, it hasn't been bad.
Okay.
And I'll leave it at that. Production value is definitely up there. I'll give it that. It does deviate from the original a little bit. Both the TV series and our favorite, with Joey Tribbiani.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it's been pretty good. So we've had Netflix reboot Voltron as an animated series.
Yes, that's very good.
Well, yeah, which I've heard good things from.
That's extremely good.
We've seen Power Rangers get rebooted as a live-action film, which for some reason I'm hearing there's going to be a sequel.
it was mixed reviews.
But technically, Power Rangers never stopped.
Yeah, no,
Well, it's true, but this was a reboot of the origin story.
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So,
yeah.
right.
With special effects worse than the TV show.
Yes.
It's really weird how they did that. How
So
do you have a bigger
this
budget?
one,
Worse?
this one is one that we've kind of joked about that it should get rebooted, but we were afraid that it would get ruined. And we're talking about the 80s classic cartoon M.A.S.K.
Yes. Yeah, I have very, very, very low hopes on this.
And as do I, since it's going to be a live action film.
But, okay, this is Hasbro, okay? So, do you know what the previous live action Hasbro movie is?
G.I. Joe.
No. Gem.
Gem and the holograms.
Gem and the Holograms. That absolute
Garbage.
garbage that happened. And so
Yeah.
Now for those younger listeners out there.
Well, wait a
viewers,
second. Can we legitimately actually say, though, that the last Transformers movie was the last one that came out? Because that came out after Gem, wasn't it?
I'm not sure Hasbro actually produced it. That's the thing. Hasbro actually produced the Gem movie.
Yeah, I think Transformers was
Oh.
licensed.
Okay.
For those that don't know what we're talking about, I think we probably should play at least a portion of the M.A.S.K intro. Don't you?
Of course.
I mean, we
Sure,
haven't.
why not?
We haven't gotten.
It's just an instrumental.
No. I have the
No, it's
beginning of
not.
the cartoon.
Oh, okay.
I remember the words.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But the opener he has right now is the one that goes do 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 do.
Yeah. So here we go.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot this.
That just takes you back. A little robot scooter.
Oh yeah.
It's the mighty power that can save the day.
This was so yeah. I cannot believe that they had an opening that was 59 seconds long.
Yeah, but how many kids? I used to go around singing that song, and I'm sure my parents hated me
Oh yeah,
for it.
yeah. I mean, I don't remember a whole lot about that show. I remember the intro, kind of.
Yeah.
And I remember having like one toy, and that's it. But I mean, because that was in the time of, the Transformers and all that stuff. I mean, that was right there.
Transformers, GoBots.
Yeah, see, this was, if you mix G.I. Joe and Transformers together, that's what you have. They were trying to
Yes.
write off of both of them. So, I mean, that's what this was. So, I mean, not a bad concept, but yeah, it was just,
Yeah.
I mean, it did what, 80 episodes or something like that? I mean, it was ridiculous.
So
Did
A
it
successful
really?
show. Yeah, I think so.
now, okay, so I'm going to say that it's possible Transformers Last Night does count.
Okay.
So let's go through. So they had Gem and the Holograms.
Mm-hmm.
They had Ouija. They had a movie based on Ouija.
Ooh.
As in Ouija board.
Yes.
Okay.
And then they had My Little Pony, the movie. Upcoming are Bumblebee, the movie. Another G.I. Joe movie.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah, they're going to make another G.I. Joe movie.
Micronauts.
Micronauts?
Micronauts.
Is that going to be like Micro Machines? Is that?
No, I think Micronauts was a different toy series.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, they're going to do another Clue movie.
What? No, you can't remake Clue.
I don't know if they're remake Clue. They're just going to do another movie named Clue.
M.A.S.K had 75 episodes in total, by the way.
And listen, if they're gonna redo Clue, then they got to be smart about it and release it with 3 different endings in various theaters. That was a brilliant marketing move at the time because this was before the internet, and you had to go to different showings at different theaters in order to see the different endings.
Yeah.
Because you'd be talking to a friend who lived a couple towns over, went to a different theater, and you'd be like, "Oh, well, Colonel Mustard did it." No, he didn't. What do you mean?
And in today's digital world, they could have the same theater showing different endings.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't even know which one you're going to see. You have to see it over and over again.
Yep.
Have a movie pass.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I want to go back though, real quick. Lost in Space, because I do have a comment on Lost in Space, because people are complaining that it doesn't match something about the original Lost in Space. And here's the thing that people don't remember: Lost in Space is the original Family Matters, a TV show that was hijacked by a guest actor.
Oh, the professor, you mean?
Yeah, because Smith was supposed to be a short term, comes in for a couple episodes, is the bad guy, dies, and the show continues. Instead, it became the Dr. Smith and Robot show.
Yeah.
Just like Family Matters became the Urkel show. A character comes on once, it's supposed to be a guest star, and then becomes the show. So the people are complaining that the Dr. Smith character is not camp enough, or is losing the original vision of the original show. That wasn't the vision of the original show.
Well, and there have been other complaints too, that West is not the military person, that the father is the military person, and West is a smuggler. Spoiler alert. So the character, and there's a lot more characters, not to mention more ships. So it's loosely based on the original.
Yeah.
And that may be why I think it's pretty good, because it's grounded enough in the original that you're kind of familiar with the story, but it's different enough that it's keeping your interest. So, anyway.
Yeah.
I also feel I got to point out that Shaggy is out of ski.
Yeah.
Which is why we reverted to other sodas.
Yes, there will be another Smokey and the Bandit style run to reload our supply. Unfortunately, I still have not talked them into just bring a semi-tractor trailer here and dropping it off in the garage.
Or just start selling it locally.
Well,
listen.
Yeah, I can't.
I will be more than happy. I will be more than happy to take a cargo van, and I will do an entire 8-man goeth transporting this to Shaggy if they will pay for the van and provide the product. I will be more than happy to do that.
You know what I think I think we should try and talk them into doing. All right, us three all together. Okay, we take a 1-week vacation together. All right, they pay for the van. We get a big cargo van, right? We load up our stuff plus the rest of the space full of ski. Then we drive all the way back to New Jersey, giving ski out along the way at rest areas to people, recording both our journey and people's reaction to ski. And then Colin and I fly home. So we got a plane ticket from New Jersey to here, a car rental from here to New Jersey, and then plane tickets for us back.
And some per diem.
Yeah, a little bit of per diem would be nice.
So we can eat.
I mean, we can't live on just drinking the ski that we packed alone.
No.
But yeah.
I mean, look, if you want to rent a small RV, one that we don't have to actually, have a CDL license to drive.
Yeah.
And you can vinyl up the sides of it. Well, fine.
Yeah, if you have a ski mobile.
Yes.
All right. We'll take it.
The ski mobile. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, they got the Wiener mobile. Why don't we have a ski mobile? All right. It can be pulling like a trailer with a fake skier, on the side.
Listen. Does anybody remember when Red Bull used to have like the minis driving around with the Red Bull can on the top?
Yeah.
People get paid to drive around in those things. I'm sure there are some of those sitting somewhere.
You think we should just fill that can up?
I think we should just repaint them.
Yeah.
To be ski.
I think so. You know, I'm a member of this streaming forum, and one of the guys said that there was a food truck company that was selling off all their old trucks. They had debranded them, pulled out all the stoves and all the refrigerators and everything. It was just basically a box truck on the back with some shelves. They left a few shelves in, but they were clearancing them out.
So they're kind of like the Wolfmobile.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
You know, but look at it. It's got that huge window on the side that opens up. Think about how many coolers we could get in there. You know, ice down the ski and then just raise up the window and say, "Hey, have a ski. Try it out. New to the market." You know?
Yeah, technically, I was thinking the best possible vehicle for this.
Are you thinking about the one from Christmas Vacation, or not the Christmas from the original Vacation movie?
A Jeep Grand Wagoneer is the absolute stereotypical skiing vehicle. The kind of vehicle you put your skis on to go skiing in.
What? Okay, but this is water skiing that ski is, not snow skiing.
Same thing.
Okay. I don't know that it'll hold that much though.
Oh, I'm not sure how much it'll hold. But
No,
it could pull.
No, we can't sleep in that. I like Mike's idea about an RV. RV it up.
I'd rather find hotel rooms myself.
Just think of all the recording opportunities. It'd be as good as a train trip we were planning.
Better.
No,
Yeah.
trains are cool.
All right.
All right, Sheldon.
Let's move on.
So, in recap, M.A.S.K looked like a bad movie.
Yeah, M.A.S.K is going to be made into a movie, and we don't think it's going to be very good.
Unless
All I can say, somehow Rampage is making money.
Colin,
And so help me God. Oh, God, don't let The Rock be starring in this movie.
okay, so Colin and I actually went to go see Rampage on Sunday.
Don't let The Rock be in M.A.S.K.
And anyone who goes there to watch it, there's an Easter egg in it when he is signing. So if you know sign, and you know, because what was The Rock's name in it? What was it, like? It wasn't David, but it was some D word. I don't remember what the hell it was.
Yeah.
But anyway, when he signed his name, he went like this. All right? That was when he was signing his name, he went like this. That is not what his name was. Because to sign a name, typically you spell it out. Mike, do you have any idea what that's the sign for?
Rock?
Yes.
Okay, since he brought it up, and since Mike brought it up, there is a terrible looking Rock vehicle coming up, which is a movie where he's basically doing Die Hard.
Skyscraper.
Yeah.
Skyscraper.
My
He's
wife-
basically doing Die Hard,
Here's the thing.
missing a leg.
You didn't hear my wife in that movie while that trailer was going on. She goes, "Ooh, I want to go see that."
Oh,
Which means-
yeah.
Oh, I got to go see that.
No.
So here's my problem with that movie. One,
The physics.
why, if you're going to have a movie of someone who's missing a leg, why don't you find an actor who's missing a leg?
Well, because since he is-
Okay, Lieutenant Dan.
Because otherwise,
how many famous actors have an amputation below the knee?
I'm just saying.
I'm just wondering. Can you name any off the top of your head?
No, that's not the point. The point is, why have him be an amputee?
Because it adds to every gimmick thing that they're doing in this movie.
No,
When he's hanging by a rope and the thing is starting to disconnect.
I mean, at least Forrest Gump had a reason. because that happened a lot to people from Vietnam. And having a double amputee, because the character has to be legged in Vietnam and then lose them. So that made sense. This particular thing, I think they should have found an actor who's missing a leg.
Okay, I'm going to Google actors who are missing a leg in Hollywood. 54 famous amputees. 10 celebrities you didn't know who were amputees. Let's see here. So, Noah Galloway, they could have gotten him. He was on the cover of Men's Health. He's not an actor, though, but he was on Dancing with the Stars.
Wait, isn't that the guy that's missing not just a leg? He's missing.
He's missing like an arm, a leg. He's in bad shape. I don't think he. I mean, he has the body and the physique for it. I think he probably would have pulled some people.
He could have gotten Oscar Pistorius. No.
He's busy.
Heather Mills evidently but the female, so that wouldn't have worked. Rick Allen is missing an arm. That's a drummer from Def Leppard. Zsa Zsa Gabor. Yeah, they could have had her old ass out there. Yeah, that would have worked.
Yeah.
Jerry Garcia. He's dead.
He's dead.
Waylon Jennings. Dead. Frida Kahlo.
Very dead.
Dead. Stonewall Jackson. Dead.
Incredibly dead.
Ella Fitzgerald. Still alive, I think. Rahm Emanuel. He's missing most of his middle finger on his right hand. That is not an amputee in my mind. All right? I'm sorry you have to flick people off with your other hand. Tony Lamy, guitarist for Black Sabbath. All right, and that's it. Those are the 10 famous celebrities.
Yeah. So there are very good actors, I am sure, who are missing a leg, who definitely could have done this movie, and this movie would have made them famous.
They could have gotten the vet from the one that walks in and adopts the senior dog on a commercial. He missing a leg. They could have found a veteran. I'm sure.
Yeah.
They could have.
The Rock doesn't have to be in every damn thing, okay? Can we just be clear about this? The Rock is trying to be 80s
Tammy
Tom
Duckworth.
Hanks combined
Here's the thing.
with Samuel L. Jackson, okay? Look, dude, I get that that when your career started, you only had $7 in your pocket. I get it. You say it every freaking chance you can. I'm not saying you're a bad guy. Leave some work for the other people. You're starting your own damn tequila company.
Every movie does not need The Rock and or Michael B. Jordan.
Here's the thing. The movie sucks. Okay? I think we can all realize that the movie probably is horrible.
Yes.
And the only way to save it and to make its money back is to hire Dwayne Johnson.
No, if the movie's going to be bad, you don't make it in the first place.
But that's not the way this works.
Because you don't understand. Like, they revamped the video game so Dave & Buster's could have a tie-in.
Yeah.
Come to Dave & Buster's and you can play all of our most popular games for free, including Rampage.
You know, which they did tear apart a Dave & Buster's in the movie.
See? It's all about merchandising tie-in. That's the problem.
Rampage wasn't a horrible movie.
No, there is a Dave & Buster's in Chicago, so, that checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was I enjoyed it. It was a good movie. It's not a great movie.
Yeah.
They did the important thing that kept it from being a terrible movie. But I'm not going to go be.
Yep. No, we'll give it a full review sometime else.
Yes.
All right, so let's move along to another thing.
Move right along.
So let's talk about millennials for a second.
Or Xennials, as we are.
Yeah, are we Xennials? That sounds like flowers.
Yeah. We're at least I am. What year were you born?
77.
Yeah. So the two of us were 77. We are at the very leading edge of the Xennials.
And Mike is 2 years older than us. I believe, right, Mike? 3. Okay, so he's 74.
So he's at the end of the Generation X.
So they did a survey. They did a survey and found that millennials aren't afraid to put in quite a bit of time on the therapist couch, as it were. All right, and some of the things on their minds: uncertain job market, wariness about marriage, student debt. For many, it's their parents. We went from being a parent-focused society to a child-focused society, and this generation are the product of this flux in our parenting focus. As a result, this therapist hears consistent complaints about their parents that they are micromanaging their lives to the point of being suffocating and overbearing. All right? So, examples. Helicopter parents, having the feeling that you are a failure compared to your parents' standards. Okay, parents, your parents having the feeling like you don't need therapy. Parents have become helicopter grandparents, which is even worse.
No. I don't even know how that
You don't
happened.
think that's even worse?
No. No, I'm saying no, that ain't not going to happen.
That's not going to happen in the Blair household.
No.
Overly involved in someone's financial life.
Yeah, get the hell out of my pocket. That's...
Yeah. Parents didn't teach me how to navigate negative emotions. Okay.
What parents? I mean, that's like the standard thing of every generation. Oh, my father, he couldn't deal with emotions. He was the stoic type.
Well,
It's a standard.
I think some things they can't teach you. You have to learn on your own. And I think probably dealing with your emotions is one of those things where, in the end, it comes down to you have to learn. It's,
I mean, look, parents can guide you and help you figure out, are your feelings justified? Like, if you're mad about something, parents can help you learn whether it's something you should be, it's okay to be mad at this, or no, you shouldn't be mad, and here's why. If you're upset about something, parents can tell you, there's no point in being upset in this. They can tell you, you're a pansy, get over it, or they help tell you how to get past it.
Or as in my family, it was quit your bitching, or suck it up.
Suck it up.
Those were some of the favorites. Or, hey,
it's too hard. Life's too hard. Buckle up, Buttercup.
Wear a helmet. Life's rough. Or you want to cry? I'll give you something to cry about. That was another one.
That was
These were some famous lines in the Shaggy household. Real emotional bolsters. My parents were.
My parents liked the whole, don't you smile trick. That which usually worked very well.
Yeah.
Wow, Colin. Wow.
Yeah.
So, Mama Blair saying my kids came into my world, not me into theirs.
That is very. When you think about it, perspective is key right now. Because right now, millennials all think instead of
and by the way,
learning to earn something, I don't know where this generation got this sense of entitlement.
Yeah.
Right. But growing up, we had to work for every damn thing we got.
And by the way, this is a gross generalization that we're doing.
Yes.
All right. If you are not part of this mold and you agree with us, great. Welcome to being the exception.
If you're sitting in a corner in the fetal position crying because you think we're talking about you,
we're talking about you.
We are.
Yeah. So
I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. Listen, if you think when someone says that they are triggered over some, and you think that's like a call to arms, like, ooh, triggered, okay, yeah. No. Go on your iPad, go on Reddit, into some millennial Trump-hating subforum, converse about how libertarians and Bernie Sanders are going to save the world,
And the penguins.
And the penguins.
The polar
Forget
bears.
the penguins.
And just y'all see they got another March of the Penguins movie coming out now?
No.
By the way, it's a Hulu exclusive. They still got Morgan Freeman, but it's a Hulu exclusive.
I love Benedict
But yes.
Cumberbatch trying to say penguins because he couldn't say penguins. He kept saying penglings. But anyway, getting back to it. Yeah, guy at the place I work has a, it's not an original phrase to him, but he says social justice warriors.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what the generation is full of. Outrage before justification.
Yes.
And it's perfect example here. Okay, a couple nights ago, there was a basketball player that was interviewed, and the interviewer asked him what he thought about another coach's wife passing. Okay, and he gave a real honest answer and acted emotional. So, I mean, and the reporter was chastised online for how dare she ask him that question right after he just had a great game, and bring him down, and totally just pile this negativity onto him. Okay, well, the basketball player the next morning said, "Hey, she asked me before we went live if I would mind talking about it. So she didn't blindside me. I said, yes, I would really like to. I want to give my condolences to the family." So he came out in her defense, but that wasn't enough to silence the mob. They didn't listen to reason.
No, of course not.
On the other hand, just to say, because it reminded me, the same thing, similar thing happened during the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reporters kept asking the women's hockey team about their big loss in the middle of them having their big game.
Yeah.
So on that hand, I was like, yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah,
After the game is over, feel free to ask stupid questions.
Yeah.
Okay. Comment here is okay.
Mike's got a comment.
Well,
Parents my age bear some responsibility as well. I raised two mature, independent children who knew what lines you didn't cross.
so I was reading, because when I sent it to the queue, it said
Yeah.
both are in the Army. Boy is medical tech, girl is combat medic. I have friends who lane whiny little shitballs that we all hate. They want the world handed to them, no strings or adversity allowed. See, that's just it. And regardless of how your kids turned out, I'm glad they turned out the way they are. Thank them for their service.
Yeah.
Right? But regardless, if they were the shitballs and your kids were the ones in the Army, I thank you for taking responsibility for how your kids turned out.
Yeah. I mean,
This is another breakdown. When parents start blaming, school, they didn't teach my kid in school how to deal with this. They're not supposed to. That's your job.
I always say this, whenever somebody compliments me on my daughter or whatever, I've never heard a negative thing about her, but, I always tell them, because they always say, well, you did such a good job raising her. And I'm like, listen, realistically, I did 10% of the work. Okay? She did 90% of the work. Because growing up to not be an ass is all her. All right? I just put the guardrails there. She's the one that doesn't bounce over them. All right? She has to stay in between them. I just put them up.
But listen, if you're a parent, and I swear to God, I overheard this I overheard parents in Walmart talking about this story, and it was on the other side of the aisle, and I could not leave. I was standing in the middle of the feminine hygiene aisle because it was on the other side. I just happened to be cutting through. I stood there because I was not going to miss this conversation. Two parents are talking, and the one parent says, "Well, she came home and she said, well." After I confronted her about the pot I found in her room, she said, "Well, at least it's not heroin." What? That's a victory?
That's where when you were saying that, all I could imagine was that commercial from the early 90s going, I learned it from you, Dad. I learned it from you.
That's the point. It's like, the problem is not the millennials.
No.
The problem is Generation X.
You know.
Fuck you.
Well, here, we have a list of Ask Reddit, actually. Mike, you brought up Reddit. Ask Reddit has had a question that they posted that says, what's an adult problem nobody prepared you for? Okay? So this was, I guarantee this was probably mostly millennials posting here. All right, but I can see where some of these problems are probably things that, you know, our generation might have even said. Mm-hmm. Okay, and maybe Mike's generation, because they were like, you know, how much do I need to feed the horse before I take my horse and buggy out? You know, but it's like, it's like, what? Here's a question: how hard it is to be in a relationship, even if it's a great one, it is still hard. Okay, as we've always said, relationships are work. Give the kids boundaries; they will keep pushing you until they find the limits. Yes, exactly right, Mom Blair. Kids are about two things. Kids are about limits and routines. All right, you need to establish both early on, or you're going to have a problem. All right, I've got friends, one ex-co-host, who, you know, has at this point now a 4-year-old who has no set schedule, has no set routine, and wonders, you know, what happened. Well, guess what? You needed to set these things up ahead of time. If you don't start out right, you're never going to end right. You know, it's just not going to happen.
So I'm reading through some of these here, and, you know, a couple of interesting ones. Making friends and connections without spending a fortune. It's true. And it goes on to say, when as a kid, you just hung out. Like, hey, you want to hang out? Okay, you came over and you sat on the front lawn. You sat on the front porch. You just sat there. You bullshit. You flipped bottle caps, whatever. As an adult, it seems like you need to spend $60 for a monthly membership. I'm assuming, meaning like a gym or some kind of club, or $40 for a night out. It's like a pay-to-play system. No, it's true.
Yeah.
Kids today, you know, if God forbid the internet goes down, these kids don't know how to discuss with one another.
I mean,
anything.
I mean, even as an adult, it's difficult to make and find friends.
Unless you have something that, like, okay, for me, a lot of the people that are becoming friends now are guys that I play hockey with on a regular basis. So that you have that commonality. Yeah, if you have some type of extra activity that you do, that's usually a group activity. Unfortunately, a lot of people, that's parenting now. Yeah. When you have kids, that's when your friends... we don't have to comment on this one. No, we don't need to. So here's another one. Realizing that you've wasted resources on what you intended to lead to a career, now you have to reevaluate and make a new plan. And this kind of ties to the Mike Rowe feeling that college is not for everyone. Yeah. Right? One of the high school seniors in a town Facebook group posted up something asking questions for a philosophy class that they're taking. And I proceeded to tell them how my freshman year, when I graduated high school, they had senior awards night where, you know, you got like scholarships or grants or whatever, you know. I went and I got like a $500 award. And I went up and they're announcing me, they go, Michael Pinkowitz will be attending Rutgers University in the fall where he will major in philosophy. And you hear the entire auditorium go, what? Yeah. I thought that was a good idea. Yeah. I'm damn so glad that I didn't proceed down that path. But you hear these people, it's like from PCU. What's your major? Sanskrit. Sanskrit. Really? A 3,000-year-old dead language. Okay, yeah. What are you going to do with that when you get out of college? Really? Yeah. Think, if my kid went to college, first off, if I had a kid, but if my kid wanted to go to college and like, well, what are you going to study? They study philosophy. I will kick you from here to your mother's house, because at that point I'd be divorced. You got to go.
Yeah.
You go to trade school and put yourself through college.
I remember when I was a freshman in high school, I was talking to my biology teacher, and he asked me, "What do you want to be when you grow up? What career do you want?" And I told him, and he looked at me like I was stupid. Like, why would you want to do that? I told him I wanted to be a computer programmer.
Yeah.
Okay, so you wanted to be a programmer. Okay.
I've told people since I was in 6th grade what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And which was bizarre to me when I kept asking my daughter, when she was a junior in high school. I'm like, "What do you want to do? What do you have to start thinking now about colleges and what you want to get into, because this is starting to shape your college career, junior, second half of junior year and going into senior year. You have to start looking at colleges and what they need." And she's like, "Well, I don't know what I want to do." What the hell do you mean you don't know what you want to do? At this point, I was already on my trajectory and getting there, and granted, I had a laissez-faire attitude towards it. It was whichever letter's on top is the one I'll take. But, I at least knew the field I wanted to go into. She didn't even have a field taken care of yet. All right. At this point, it was going to be underwater basket weaving. Yeah,
I don't know. Anthropology, isn't that Ross Geller? No, he was paleontology.
Paleontology, which,
I was just saying, a topic like this, you can be a teacher. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I told her, I said, "Well, for God's sakes, just don't go into what your mother is. She has a master's in history and can't even get a job as a substitute teacher."
So now, see, I had no idea. I honestly had no idea what I wanted to do. I wanted to do something with computers, but I didn't necessarily want to be a programmer, because at that time the only exposure I had to programming was BASIC, and I was like, "No, screw this, it ain't happening."
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and as far as
I really didn't want to do that.
Concerned, it was just computer science was the program. It didn't know that you were going into programming or anything else, but they didn't have specialties like networking or security or anything like that when we were in college.
No. And so I went to college, and the idea was I was going to take my first year, I was going to take all of these different courses, like the basics, the intro courses, the electives, get them out of the way and see what stuck.
Yeah.
What wound up sticking was driving to, because I didn't live at college. I commuted back and forth every day. And what wound up sticking was communications. And why did it wind up sticking? Because I'm listening to Howard Stern driving on my way to school the one day. And here's a guy that he had a guest in the studio with his wife. And the guy is telling his wife to go ahead and have sex with Howard. Immediately, I decided I need to major in communications so I could get into radio.
Yeah.
And it kind of it stuck for a little bit, communications, and obviously I'm in telecommunications now, but I had if you asked me when I got my degree 20 something years ago, if you asked me if I was going to be doing any of this, what I'm doing now, the answer would have been no. I have no idea. There was a time where I thought I was just going to wind up being a forklift driver forever because I loved the job.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could I threatened my boss all the time. I said, if I ever get a job offer where I can make the same money or close to the same money driving a forklift, you will never see me again. And I'm surprised he hasn't sent me any job applications. Because some days I imagine that if he could get me that forklift job, he would be happy to get me that forklift job so I wouldn't be bothering him anymore.
Yep.
Forklift in a nuclear reactor.
Yeah. So here's some other ones that they had on the list. Parents didn't prepare him for the day he hired an intern, only to realize they hadn't been born when he graduated college.
Oh, okay. I just to touch on that real quick, we had a college grad come into a program at work where, basically it's like a rotational program to help them figure out where they want to be in the company. Mm-hmm. And I'm the first person at the company that she is dealing with. She's right out of college, and I'm helping her do all the HR paperwork and stuff. And she tells me her birthday, and I'm just like, oh my God, you could be my daughter.
Yeah.
I could be your father. Oh my God. I'm old.
Well, that's the thing about turning 40 is you realize it is now longer since high school than it was before high school.
Yeah.
And it's going to only increase from then on.
You know, I never thought about that until now. Thanks, Colin. That mathematical equation never crossed my mind until now.
No,
But now I'm closer to retirement than I was.
Yeah. That's the realization is, I am on the back half of my working life now. This sucks.
Man, listen. Just before we went on the air, I'm looking at the benefits site trying to see what health benefits do. What are my benefits when I do retire? Do I get health benefits? Am I still part of that or no?
Yeah. That's a constant conversation at work is, we only have this many days left. You know, me and another guy are fighting over who's going to go first. And I'm like, I'm going first because you still got young kids.
I gotta pull it up. But I have it calculated down to the hour that I am eligible for retirement. Give me a second, because I shut my Outlook down. But you can go ahead.
Somebody else says,
I'm not planning to retire.
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm not planning on fully retiring. I'm just planning on retiring from one job so that I can start my other ones.
Yeah, you have a completely different thing.
Yeah, I have a completely different plan than most people. Most people say, I'm going to retire and I'm going to take it easy. I'm saying I'm going to retire and I'm going to ramp it up.
So here's the difference. When Shaggy retires, that's when he stops having to pay for his health insurance.
Yeah. Well, my personal one.
Yes.
I still have to pay for the family.
Yes.
Which at that point, well, right now it's just my wife actually.
Yeah.
So, but we are actually entering a new phase as talking about getting older. We are entering a new phase come next week in our household. We, other than the birds on the front porch, which are back by the way, will be empty nesters again. So, that is going to mean some changes around here. Like I've already told children, call before you come over. You guys have keys. Don't use
Naked Fridays, baby.
That's right.
And by the way, just October 20th of 2023 at 10:34 a.m. I will officially be eligible for retirement.
Do you have an email set to go out? Right.
I have a calendar reminder in Outlook that will remind me 6 months ahead of time.
6 months till you can tell them to screw off.
Well, no, because then you have to start planning.
Yeah.
And keeping an eye out like, okay. Anyway.
Yeah, we have people at work that could retire any day. And they're like, yep, I'm on my FU time now. Because if I do something I don't like, I can just tell them, F you, I'm gone.
And see, I don't plan to ever fully retire, per se.
Right.
Yeah.
Retiring means I go to a job that I want to go to.
Yes, exactly.
I go to a job that I'm not going to. So that's keep doing it.
God bless you. Obviously, I can't be the guy working the counter at Blockbuster anymore.
Well, you could. You could start up one. You could be the last surviving Blockbuster.
Manager of an ice rink.
Roller
I don't
rink.
even know. Management means you got responsibilities.
No, he just wants to be the DJ of the roller rink again. He wants to go back to his first job.
Owner of the ice rink.
No, I just want to drive the Zamboni.
Now, message came up and said, Mama and Papa Blair are retired, but they're still working.
Yeah,
so
they're
good for them.
The 90-day thing.
Yeah, so good for them that they're doing it, and that's a pretty popular thing. Or at least around here, Mike. One of the things you can do is you can retire from your job, and then you can start working again for your job.
Oh yeah, after 90 days, you come back as a contractor.
Well, no, here they actually keep you on as a direct contractor for the state. Not through a separate contracting company, because that would be against the rules. But you can come back directly for the state to do your previous job or one related to your job for up to 90 days. And the pay is a little, sometimes it's the same, sometimes it's not. It just depends.
See,
That's 90 working days, not
Yeah,
3 months.
the idea is that the idea is supposed to be that gives them time to get somebody hired to do your job and for you to transition that work over to them.
Yeah, right.
What it really means is that they have just bought 90 more working days of you doing your job before they go, oh crap, we better start trying to hire somebody. That takes a year.
And you could literally start doing that the day after you officially retire.
Yeah, a lot of people have a retirement party and then they have a welcome back to work party the next day.
Now, other people, I've seen this happen. We had someone who, so you can retire at the state and not have to tell anybody except the retirement people.
Yeah.
So we had somebody retire at the end of the day. She left a note on the secretary's desk saying that she was retiring that day. Goodbye, and just gone.
Which is a waste because then nobody gets cake. I mean, and we love cake.
This is stupid. So August 1st, I officially have 20 years with my company.
Woo!
And at 20 years, you get, I don't know what the heck. For 15, I got a smoker that I never even put together. So I don't even know, but you get an allotment to go to like dinner or something, you know. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't even want to do this, to be honest, because I don't want to have to fill out the expense report that's associated with it. How dumb is that?
Yeah.
You know, if my director wants to take me and my wife out on the company for dinner one night, and you know we can invite some other coworkers or what have you, fine. He can do the expense report. He's one of my guests. You can do the expense. I don't want to even do it.
Yep.
Nope. 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 No thanks. Paperwork. I don't want to do it. Which is why I don't want to be management. I don't want that kind of responsibility.
I understand. So, let's see here. Let's move on to something different. So there was.
Can we open up the phone conversation since?
Oh yeah, we should. All right. So this was a little bit related to a phone conversation that we had. I think so. The phone conversation was what's one piece of advice, right?
Now, what's your sign?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so this goes along with the idiots. So the phone conversation that we had started up was, because I had lots of different things. So there was a conversation of, if everyone was forced to wear a warning label, what would yours say? And would you make a label for someone else? And what would that say? So call in now, 877-787-8822. So, Mike, if you had to wear a warning label, all right, for yourself, what would your warning label say? Because this goes back to last week when we were talking about being, warning PTR radio contains gluten, nuts, and dairy, and snozberries. So, Mike, what would your label say?
I believe mine definitely was a caution label. And I was tossing back and forth between caution, may fling poo at any time, or caution, 1 cent stamp away from going postal. And on the back of the shirt, don't be the idiot that licks it.
Okay. Colin, how about you?
I go back because I actually had something here, but
okay.
I forgot the words.
Okay. So, for me, I think it would probably be something like, caution, no air brakes, because usually once I get started, I do not stop. It's usually I'm gonna do something until it's finished. As far as conversations or beating someone down with verbally, or
building a website,
yeah, something like that. It has nothing to do with finished projects around the house because those are not going to get started at all. Something like that. Up, and we have a call. Hello, you're on with PTR.
Something like that.
Hello? Colin?
Hello.
Hi. You're on with PTR Radio.
Hi. There's like a 30-second delay, so I didn't know I was on. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine.
All right. I've got one for Papa Blair.
Okay.
It's a warning. Mumbling under breath may be toxic.
Colin, does your dad have a problem with mumbling?
My father is Chevy Chase from Christmas Vacation.
Oh, okay. Now, does he? My father-in-law has a huge problem with mumbling. Specifically, he wants to start a conversation, but only once he's filled his mouth with food at the dinner table. Does Papa Blair have that same problem?
Well, he has traumatized his oldest daughter by putting peeps in his mouth and mumbling peep, peep, peep with the peep sticking out.
You know, he could be a trending on YouTube for that if he just applied himself a little bit more.
Yeah, not for nothing. Angry Grandpa did pass away, so somebody's got to take up that mantle.
So do you have a warning label for yourself?
Yeah, I do. It's not so funny, but caution: package may not reflect contents.
Oh, I like that one actually. That's pretty good. So, all right. Well, that is excellent. And so far, right now, you're the only caller, so you're the winner of our call-in contest. We'll see if that holds true till the end of the night. But that is great. And if it holds up, you'll get our ski prize pack for the evening.
Woo!
All right. So bye.
So my warning label was warning: autodidact at work. Words may be mispronounced.
Okay. So
I was reading that. That's actually it is a well-known thing for people like myself who tend to pick up lots of words by reading them. That we do tend to do the whole indict thing where you make up pronunciations and entire words and meanings may come into existence that don't actually exist.
Okay.
So you're the improbability drive of vocabulary.
When you learn most of your vocabulary by reading, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Agrathea. Agrathea.
So lots of movie references tonight here, folks. We're very heavy into movie references. But no, I mean, I think there could be a lot of warning labels.
Yeah, I mean, my wife will tell you that, you know, when contents under pressure may explode.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one for folks.
You know, say that about me. I don't know if she's listening. Not saying that's not her warning label. That's what she would say about me.
You know.
Now, even if she is listening, she tends to do that. I'm going to argue with you, and as you walk away, or as I walk, or she walks away, she's going to talk under her breath, which makes me come back. Excuse me. What was that?
Here's one that I do that would be good for me. Driver carries no cash. I think it would probably be true for a lot of people.
Are you one of these people that you get mad if you can't use like Android Pay?
No,
somewhere?
No, I have never used my phone to pay for anything.
Okay.
No, I have a debit card.
All right.
I do get mad at 'cause I do like using my watch to pay, and CVS has a machine, has the logo on it that says that you're supposed to be able to tap things, but they have expressly programmed it to exclude iPhones.
Oh, they only trust Androids?
No,
Oh, here we go. Hello, you're on with PTR Radio.
Hey, this is Kate, Colin's sister.
Hey!
Hey.
So what warning label would you have for yourself?
Warning, I'm silently judging you.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Was probably it. Yeah, or I really don't want you to touch me would be another one.
Oh, how many people do you have to tell that to?
Well, I work in a kindergarten classroom, so 28.
Okay.
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 All right. I was hoping that wasn't like that you were hanging out in a bad part of town or something.
I was just gonna say, if you got to actually wear that warning label, what the?
I mean, that's
Yeah.
Colin. I thought I knew
fair,
your
that's
family.
fair.
So do you have a label for somebody else?
I have. Well, I have Griffin here. He would like to give you a label.
Oh, Griffin. Yes. Mike, keep it clean.
Okay, here, Griff.
Caution, my awesomeness might be contagious.
And it is. Good job, Griffin. Good job.
Thanks.
So.
All right, he's done now.
Yeah, that's good though. That is good.
Yep.
And we always enjoy new Griffinisms. So.
I'm gonna have to post some more. He's still full of it.
Well, yeah. As they are at that age, just about any age, to tell you the truth. We have gotten to the point now. My middle grandson is now 4, almost 5, and he's gotten to the point where he decides what he likes to eat on a per day basis. And so last night we were actually saying, no, you like hot dogs on Sundays. No, Sundays when you like hot dogs. So, I think that mentality gets over when they turn about 13, if I remember. So, I'm looking forward to that. I remember my dad.
I'll let you know. We are fully into 12-year-old itis going on. So far, not over it.
Not of Griffin, the other one.
Well, I'll tell you what.
That's cool.
I told my daughter at 18 the same thing my dad told me when I turned 18. He said, "You're just now getting to be fun to be around." So, I
tell Cole that he's going to be an awesome adult if he lives that long.
That's right. That's right. So, well, thank you very much for those warning labels. That is great. And you are now in the running, and we will have to take a vote to see who gets the prize pack at the end of the show.
Yes. So far, I
One more
definitely are
thing.
not going to be voting.
Mama Blair said that Dad used to traumatize me with peeps. She failed to mention that after he peeped, he would then open his mouth and eat them whole.
Well, that is a terrible thing to do after you peep someone. So
I know. Just wanted you to know that the trauma goes deeper than she let you know.
All right. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
All right, and if anybody else wants to call in, we have proven that the phones work.
Yes.
877-787-8822. Mike?
All I'm going to say is this is bullshit.
What?
We are I'm abstaining from voting.
No, you can't. It's only me and you.
Listen, the hell I can't. How the hell am I supposed to vote against a 12-year-old? What the? Paint me in a box. No, Did I ever tell you the story of the time I was at the bar? This is back when I was into wrestling, and a famous wrestler, P.S. Michael Hayes, came in, and they had an impression contest, and the winner got tickets to the WWF wrestling thing at Madison Square Garden a couple weeks later. And I'm like, damn it, I got this. You all have heard my impressions, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm up there looking down. I'm like, yeah, I got this. Who the hell brought a kid? A 10-year-old kid standing next to me.
Ringer.
Like, and I lost. We're in a bar. Who brought a kid?
Just to be clear, the 12-year-old is not the one that was on the phone.
I know that.
So,
but I still call shenanigans, damn it. I abstain. I'm voting for Jill Stein, damn it.
All right. So So yeah, if you have any other warning labels for yourself or anybody else, feel free to either text those in at PTR Radio on Twitter or add them into the chat for the show on YouTube or Facebook, as well as you can always give us a call, 877-787-8822. We definitely look forward to what your label might be. I'm sure that we've got other listeners out there. And remember, even if you're listening to this on the podcast, we always look for those emails and add-ins to our topic. So
and voicemails.
Feel free. Yeah, and call and leave a voicemail. We do get voicemails. Mike, I know we got another 2-minute voicemail. I'm assuming it was another conference call.
No, it was a fax.
Oh, it was a fax. I'm sure it was a dedicated listener trying to fax us, right? Oh. Is that the label that you're getting, or is that just a general statement?
I think that's just a general statement. Not because she's listening, because she can hear me through the vents. I'm sure.
You are the most popular DJ in your air return system. Yes.
And just for the record, Griffin, I love you, man. I really do.
Yep.
It's not personal. It's just, the hell do you vote against a kid? I mean, come on.
Well, you just say, technically speaking, he's not the one who called.
Yeah, so that makes it mother against daughter, which is all the better. Which, if this was a Howard Stern kind of show, that could be a completely different kind of battle.
And we're back to that. Yeah.
All right. But did you notice one thing, Mike? No complaints about Facebook audio tonight. No complaints about YouTube audio. Phone working fine.
I'm proud of you.
That's because we bought bag o' cables. So we had, because what I found was I needed to order what turned out to be 5 cables. It was cheaper to buy 20.
Yeah, it's sad, isn't it?
Yeah, because I bought them from a pawn shop in California. Pawn shop said, "Here, we got 20 of these. $29. Okay, I will buy them all. I don't need them all right now, but I would need some of them."
I was actually sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? It'd be cheaper for the patch cables for like my road case. It would be cheaper for me to buy a 4-channel monoprice snake and cut the heat shrink off to create 4 individual cables than it would be to buy 4 individual cables.
Sometimes it is.
And they're color coded then too.
Yes. Yes, they are. So,
what else we got?
All right. So the other thing that we got is 911.
Well, we got to talk. We got Mini Me.
All right. Yeah, we do got to talk.
One out for Mini Me.
Well, we got to talk about death pool updates, basically.
Because
because there's been a couple of them lately. So we did have a little bit of a shakeup after the last show in the death pool. That kicked Mama Blair actually out of first place.
Correct.
So,
and I believe the Glacier.
Yeah, I believe that is right. So if you don't know what we're talking about, every year we ask our listeners and our fans to submit 5 celebrities that they think are going to kick the bucket in the next year. We then track those celebrities using our very sophisticated celebrity death tracker, running on the most advanced hardware that we can find. And we then award points based on those deaths, calculated between when they died, how long they lived, all that kind of stuff. And then we award bonuses like first strike, buzzer beater, all those types of things. And right now, the Glacier is in the lead with 64.52 points.
Now, Colin, you had made a comment before we went on the air that based off of some late breaking news, Mama Blair could go back into the lead.
No, because I've seen that she couldn't because the 2 leaders also have George W. Bush.
Yes.
Yeah. So and
I will just say, I'm gonna go on record as saying when, I don't think it's a question of if now, when George Bush Sr. passes, This will be the first time, I believe, that we have had someone get more than 2 picks.
Yeah.
There's
in a calendar
pretty
year.
high chance that the Glacier might sweep it.
I don't know that he'll get McCain.
Oh, but McCain's
been in bad health
he's barely
all year.
hanging
He
on.
has brain cancer, or brain tumor, or some.
Yeah, he has brain cancer. It's not.
Yeah, well, Valerie Harper did too, but
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Um,
he has brain cancer. It isn't going away. It's
Bob Barker is the only one.
Yeah.
So right now the Glacier got Barbara Bush and Billy Graham.
Mm-hmm.
Jenny Shee, 70, got Barbara Bush. Mama Blair's got Billy Graham. And then Spider Chicken is in 4th with Billy Graham. After that, we have Dingle, who is in the 5th position because of his referral point.
Well, and that's why Mama Blair is ahead of
Spider Chicken.
Spider Chicken.
So referral points do make all the difference, and you get referral points by referring people. And Mike, if HW does go, that's going to put me and you tied within our host pool.
Yeah, I'll be behind.
Also, Mama Blair got bonus points for the first strike.
Did she?
Everybody with Billy Graham got.
Yeah, everybody with
Yes.
Billy Graham got first strike points. So, yep. So
if Bob Barker dies in December, then the Glacier would have first strike and last strike and, and a full sweep. If that happens,
wow,
then
we'll have to make sure he gets a really nice box.
Not only that, but he might get a visit from somebody else. I mean,
I personally know the Glacier. And I know he actually is not happy that he is.
He's winning?
That if that happens, that he gets all of these, he ain't never going to play again. I'll tell you that right now. All right, so yeah, we had.
But then we have lots of honorable mentions. And they are honorable because, this game is for points. It's all for fun. It's how we deal with things. But we also mention people, honestly, that are people that we want to, talk about and bring some awareness to their death because maybe not everybody knows about them. And recently, Mike, Vern Troyer, you posted at age 49, passed away, famous for playing Mini-Me in Austin Powers. As well as Avicii, I think is how it's pronounced.
Yes.
And I know that personally hit somebody at work pretty hard. He's a big EDM guy, and so he was a big follower of him. He actually didn't know that about a year ago, Avicii kind of left the scene. It was almost a Dave Chappelle type thing where fame hit him way too hard, way too fast, and he just had to get away. Right now, police are saying that they found him in a hotel room. There wasn't anything that they haven't said.
Pawn shop cables, man.
Yeah. So, there wasn't anything. They don't see any foul play, but they're not releasing what the cause was.
Well, they didn't find any drugs or alcohol in his system. He went sober 2 years ago. He had suffered from acute pancreatitis, which was a result of heavy drinking in his early career days. He retired from touring in 2016 because of his health issues, but he was still producing and doing studio work.
And then before that,
he had his gallbladder out. He had his appendix out. I mean, the guy had a lot of health issues, and it's sad. 28 years old.
And then prior to that, Bruno Sammartino, Mike, dead at 82, famous Hall of Fame wrestler. And then, Barbara Bush, obviously, before then. And then before that, the last Monday that we were on, we broke the news about Harry Anderson.
And between that was Carl Castle from NPR.
Yeah, and we actually there were two different commentators, Carl Castle, and then there was another one that I don't have a note on, but there was another. It wasn't NPR. It was another famous broadcast.
Wasn't Art Bell?
Yeah, Art Bell,
yeah.
famous conspiracy theorist, broadcaster. Art Bell passed away as well.
That's not as important as Carl Castle.
Well, it depends on who you ask. If you ask a guy who thinks chemtrails are true, then he's going to say
Yes.
Art Bell.
If you care about ratings, Carl Castle's ratings were humongous.
So,
Wait. Don't tell me on NPR's ratings are incredibly high.
Yeah. So, I mean, there have been a lot of celebrity deaths here lately, and we want to make sure that we give all of them a due note. So, if you do want to keep up to date on celebrities that are passing away, PTR Radio's Facebook page is definitely one that you want to be able to pay attention to. So, make sure that you are subscribed to us. We do post those right away. And hey, if you notice one that we don't, make sure to send us a message and we will give you credit for it. I know Jay Holt, Jeremiah, you guys have been great on sending us stuff, and we always try to give credit back to Steven.
Colin's biggest fan.
Yep. Loves the Colin show. That's what he does while he's mowing the grass. So, we always give credit where it's due, folks.
Oh, what the hell is this?
So, I'm not sure what Mike's saying now.
I'm gonna send you the link here.
Okay.
Because this is, I can't believe this. This is actually a truthful thing.
Okay. Okay, so headline news: monkeys can't sue for copyright infringement of selfies. Ninth Circuit court rules. So, Mike, were you following this case and you just got an alert, or?
Okay, so I'm refreshing my Facebook feed to see the trends, to see if we have a live as it happens announcement.
Oh, okay.
All right, but this comes up as trending, and I know a wildlife photographer was out in the wild, and a monkey. A crested macaw monkey took the photographer's camera and started taking pictures of himself. So PETA, all of a sudden, jumps on this, stating that the monkey should own the copyright to that photo, and the copyrights to selfies came about with the Ellen DeGeneres selfie at the Oscars, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, the
right with Bradley Cooper,
the star-studded selfie, basically.
Right,
yeah.
right. And it turns out, because even though it was Ellen's phone, because Bradley Cooper actually took the selfie, he technically owned the copyright to that photo.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So PETA came out. Because the picture of the monkey, I mean, it's a good picture.
Yeah, it's better.
It really is
better than any animal photographer could take.
So
without getting
PETA came out and said that the monkey should own the copyright to that picture, and any profitability from that should go to the monkey and to conservation of the monkeys.
Millionaire monkey.
A federal court had to decide. Federal court. Let's talk about government spending for a second, shall we? A federal appeals court decided unanimously that animals may not sue for copyright protection. I'm sorry.
Because
this is just further proof that PETA has strayed from their mission.
Well, I think a little bit of history on here is important, though, because originally the photographer whose camera it was claimed ownership of the picture, but then other people claimed that, well, no, there's no copyright, it's public domain, because he didn't actually take the picture. The monkey took the picture.
Okay.
And the courts ruled that was correct, it was in the public domain. So then PETA stepped in and said, oh, well, if we're going to say that the monkey took the picture, and that it's public domain, and so that the guy whose camera it was doesn't have rights to it either, then let's see if it's the monkey's picture. If we're going to say that the monkey took the picture,
that's still
Yeah, and
I get what you're saying.
And the ruling,
like as far as the chain of events, it does make the chain of events between Pete is basically saying, okay, well, if the photographer doesn't own it, then let's try and get the monkey to own it. Right. If the court had said that the photographer owned it, then this would never have been an issue.
Correct.
This is PETA jumping on a bandwagon trying to.
Yeah. But at least it wasn't PETA like randomly finding a picture on the internet deciding to sue over it.
Now, what was interesting, and this is actually probably important, is that they concluded that this monkey and all animals, in fact, since they are not human, lack statutory standing under the Copyright Act.
Yes.
So that is an important distinction, is that they didn't just make a particular case that said this monkey. All right. Yeah. They're stating that the monkey and all animals aren't human, so therefore they lack statutory standing. Period.
The idea here was that PETA was hoping if they could get a ruling in the monkey's favor, then he would actually be getting monkeys
human rights
through the court system.
Yeah, this was they were playing a long game.
They're playing long. Unfortunately, they lost, which means that the courts have now ruled that monkeys are not
citizens,
people.
Yeah, they're property.
They're property.
Okay,
as has been defined traditionally.
Here we go.
But what about elephants and pigs? Do they own their paintings?
No.
That would probably be. I didn't see that last one long enough to read it, Mike.
It says, I guess the money they get for paintings goes to feeding them. So technically, yes, I guess.
Well, it goes. All those things belong to the zoos or whoever.
The painting itself belongs to the zoo. The zoo can sell the painting to pay for the elephant. But if you take a picture of the painting, you can do anything you want with it because the actual image of the painting is not copyrighted.
Yeah, it's kind of like
by an elephant.
It's kind of like, a year or so ago when we had the video of April the giraffe. Okay, April didn't own any of those videos, even though it was her baby.
True.
So.
And that slut went and got pregnant again.
Yep.
Now, if you have the elephant paint a painting, and you take a picture of the painting, and then destroy the painting so that nobody else can take a picture of it, then you can have a copyright. But the elephant can't.
And a pissed off elephant that you destroyed his stuff. All right. Let's go into something else that I think we can all agree is horrible.
For 4 minutes.
Yes. 911. Not that it's horrible. We all like 911. They're very important. All right.
It's a great show, too.
And if you happen to be in the UK, 999 is great as well.
Yes. I don't know that this is particularly 911 here.
Yeah.
I don't know if there are British 999 operators that are this bad. There might be.
All right. 911 is an amazing show. I agree.
So a former 911
or if you're in Britain, it's actually 0118999881999119725.
Yes.
And if you get that reference,
congratulations.
You're one of us.
You know the only UK show that Mike likes.
Fair enough.
Former 911 operator in Houston who hung up on thousands of people contacting the emergency services has been sentenced. Krishonda Williams, 44, was found guilty on Wednesday following a trial in Harris County of interference with emergency telephone calls after repeatedly hanging up the phone while working at the Houston Emergency Center.
Ain't nobody got time for that. I believe is the exact quote.
I smell barbecue. Before she was caught and fired in August 2016. Reports click to Houston. Suspicions were raised when an audit of 911 calls to the HEC noticed a high volume of short calls lasting less than 20 seconds, which were taken by Williams. Now, she was found guilty following the trial of interference. According to prosecutors, documents from the review revealed thousands of short calls were attributed to Williams hanging up between October 2015 and March 2016. Okay, one emergency caller, Jim Moten, rang 911 in 2016 to say he spotted 2 cars speeding on a highway where 2 people were recently killed, only to be hung up on by Williams. Before hanging up, Williams is reported to have told Moten, "Ain't nobody got time for this, for real." Now we have a representative for Williams on the show right now. Yes.
As I sit here, I realize this possibly could be the worst idea I have ever had in the history of this show.
What? Oh, wait a second. I know a better way to do this.
I have a better representative. Hold on.
Yes. Williams's roommate will be joining us shortly. Yes, Williams's roommate, Mr. Shatheed, is on the phone with us right now.
That's right.
Mr. Shatheed, can you tell us about Miss Williams?
She is very justified in saying that she don't have time for that.
Okay, but what about the 2 cars?
These people call up 911 talking about only got 5 chicken nuggets. It's bullshit. Ties up line. She was saving money to the government by not dealing with the bullshit.
But what about the 2 cars speeding down the highway where 2 people were just killed?
They were trying to find the missing chicken nuggets. And she knew this.
Well, what are you going to do now that she's been sentenced to 18 months probation and 10 days in jail?
I need to find new roommate. Because the rent is too damn high. And if his probation can't work in jail, she can't pay rent, she has to go. Has to be very husky woman that stay with me though. Very husky woman to protect me from werewolves and land sharks.
Now, are you one of the people in the Houston area that are worried about the safety due to this 911 operator now?
Worried about safety because she no answer calls?
Well, just a general lack of confidence in the 911 system.
Now we have operators do their job. She no answer phone no more. I used to tell friends, if you call 911 and you hear 911, what's your emergency? Hang up, call right back. A different operator. If you hear her chewing gum, that was her. She chew gum.
Uh-oh.
Hang up, call right back. It's like calling cable company. Yes? You don't like answer, they give you. You hang up, you call right back. You get someone else, they give you good answer. So, if you need police, and she call and say, ain't no one got time for that. Because that was her phrase. No one got time for that. She watched a lot of YouTube. Hang up. Call back. Get different operator.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Shatheed. Williams is roommate.
Thank you.
Okay.
Very happy to be here. Thank you.
Okay. So, always good when we can get someone close to the story on the line. Mike, where'd you go?
Get the hell out of my office.
How do they find your spot? How do they find your spot?
Yeah, listen. I know we got the whole hat thing going on here. I just want to say that wig was from a time when people weren't so touchy, and when Fletch was, if you remember, scene where Fletch dreamed he was on the New York Lakers, and 6'2", 6'7" with afro, and
I thought that was just from one of your disco nights. You know, your roller rink disco nights. Because it looked like it could have been.
No. Warriors, come on.
I just love the fact that she was given probation. Like she's got okay, your probation. Don't do this again.
911, what's your emergency?
Not
Click.
a problem.
You know,
so that they're going to let her try again.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all either. I mean, it doesn't make any sense that 10 days in jail. Oh, 10 days. You did this for a year.
10 days. You'd be out by lunchtime with good behavior.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense that there was that much of a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, I guess
now
the question is anybody going to hire her?
Well, no.
I wouldn't.
No. Okay, so there's two questions regarding that. First is, was it only 10 days because she is some kind of union employee? And I don't want to use that as a segue to debate unions and non-union.
We already did that.
The second question is, did she get off easy because somehow they were able to prove through the recordings that none of her 911 hang-ups resulted in any serious bodily harm or death to any citizens?
Yeah, I mean, that would have to be the reason. I'm thinking that has to be the reason for the reduction.
The only thing that I can think of that would cause such a low sentence for something like this.
Because if one person called with a heart attack and the ambulance got there a minute too late because they had to call back.
Now, I don't remember in the article, did they say that she is subject to any civil suits as a result of this?
There was nothing in the article about it, in the first article that I read. But I can definitely see that. Of course, there's
now this opens up the floodgates. Like if you're in a town that's served by that call center,
but they wouldn't be suits against her. They'd be suits against the county.
And you can't. It's hard to sue the county.
Yeah, it's very hard to sue
the government.
To sue the government.
But even at that, she probably doesn't have any money.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Is you wouldn't sue her. You would sue the government because they were grossly negligent in monitoring. Yeah. I mean, just simply because if you look at that time frame there, that's at least.
The problem is that 911 is a service, not a requirement. So
understandable, but actually, it's paid for by a portion of the telephone bills.
Yeah, still.
So every person is donating into the fund,
right?
And therefore, the service is provided. If you're not providing the service, then you can't collect the fund.
It's hard to. It's hard to say.
No, that's not entirely correct.
Or maybe the county can't accept the money for it. Let me put it that way.
The 911 surcharge that is on your bill is only to fund the system that allows 911 to automatically pull up your address from where you're calling. It has nothing to do with the actual call center or employees or. You seriously are going to Google this? You're going to question me about this.
No, I was looking up something else.
Okay.
So,
and if it wasn't so close to the end of the show, I would tell Kenna the phones are working.
Why did she have to call? That's not good.
Yeah, call. What? We can go over.
Colin's like, no, I ain't got nowhere to be tonight. I may have time for this. What?
So technically, the government has no duty to protect. So if you call the cops and the cops decide not to come help you,
well, it's like I know.
That sure explains a lot.
Well, I know
the government has no. Why didn't this? We should have started the show with this one.
Well, why do you think that people are saying, well, we need a well-regulated militia? That's why you can't take away our guns because you don't have to protect us. I have to be able to protect myself. So,
America.
Damn right. But that's why in some towns they have a firefighter tax, basically, or a fee.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, at least around here, Mike. I don't know if it's the same where you are, but there is a fee that in some areas you have to pay the firefighters every year.
There are towns that you have to pay an annual fee for to the fire department.
Yeah.
And if you don't pay that fee,
yeah,
they do not have to answer. This is the dumbest thing ever. Like, why you would not? Because it's only like 50 bucks.
Here we go. Hold on. Hello, you're on with PTR Radio. This is not 911.
So do you want to know what happened?
Of course we do.
Okay. Well, I was driving down Dirksen trying to get my groceries, and I was stopped at the stoplight, and a lady decided to rear end me while I was stopped.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I have a coworker. That's happened twice, too.
Luckily, I was driving the Honda, so I didn't die. But I bit my tongue real good, and I hit the car in front of me. So this guy gets out of his car that I hit. He comes back to me, starts screaming at me, why the heck did I hit him? I said, no, it's the lady behind me. She hit me. He then proceeded to take his large, sweaty hand and put it across my face and hug my head.
Okay.
And told me it was all okay. And then he proceeded to go scream out the lady behind me. So, yeah. Had to call 911.
Yeah.
So the 911 call was because
They were real annoyed.
of the 911 call was because of the sweaty hand. That's what I kind of got from the.
Yeah. So
I'm teasing you.
I didn't call them. The guy that was screaming did, and
So the most important
said
question.
that they weren't excited about it.
The most important question: Are you? I heard you say you bit your tongue. Are you okay otherwise?
Uh-oh.
We lost.
Yeah.
What the hell?
We lost her.
She has T-Mobile. That happens a lot.
Oh, okay. So we hope everything's okay. So we know two things. One, Colin, your sister was in an accident.
Yes.
And two, she needs to find a more reliable cell phone provider. Those are the two big takeaways for this event. She probably couldn't have called 911, even if she wanted to, because she's with the Pink Company.
Oh, speaking of which, something came across.
Did they come across your news desk? So, by the way, folks, in just a little bit, we'll be doing our double feature movie review. The movies that we have tonight.
Now I'm pretty worried because both of my sisters now have cars that have been hit in the last week.
Well,
Yeah, she's okay.
yep, she's fine.
Okay.
So it's good.
This came across.
We get a text that I didn't die.
The irony here is this came across my suggested stories the other day, and I found out about it through this article before I found out about it internally. Now, maybe I missed the memo, but for all of you cord cutters, since you're talking about T-Mobile, this is where The Verge is reporting that AT&T is going to be launching what they're calling a skinny bundle of television channels. Product is called AT&T Watch. Will only cost $15 a month. Does not include any sports channels, which is why they're able to offer it cheap.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
The included channels are not specified. But Randall Stevenson, who is the CEO of AT&T, said that AT&T Unlimited wireless subscribers would receive AT&T Watch for free.
Oh.
So now that may give you incentive to switch from that Pink Company. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you get AT&T Unlimited, you basically get your TV streaming for free.
So you could tell your bosses that my family would love to switch to that package. They just have to actually, provide that package to their new house.
Okay.
Which they don't currently. Because we looked. And it's basically you can get wireless internet or you can get Comcast. That's it.
Okay.
I know there's nothing you can do about that. Just saying. It's very annoying.
I wish there was something I could do.
So we should probably talk about these movies in the next 15 minutes.
All right, so we had two movies. There was The Goods, Live Hard, Sell Hard, and The Titan. The Goods was on Amazon, and The Titan was a new release from Netflix. Now, I did not have a chance to do a written review this time, so I'll be going kind of off the cuff on this one. So, Mike, which movie do you want to do first?
Let's do The Titan.
Okay, The Titan. And who wants to go first?
I'll go ahead.
All right, Colin, you're up.
So, from the trailer, I had very low hopes for this movie because I thought it was going to be the typical. We start off with some kind of plot, but then it just turns into a horror movie type thing. Instead, this movie didn't really go anywhere. It didn't go to a horror movie. It didn't stay in the straight science fiction, hey, we need to get to another planet kind of thing. It just kind of existed. It's the best I could say about this movie. It's like, so this movie's about a couple, his wife is a medical person, and a soldier husband who's in this government program run by NATO, because this is 2048, and basically the U.S. military and NATO have become the same thing. And he's getting converted into a new species of human for going to the moon of Saturn named Titan, which in this movie is the only planet other than Earth that has an atmosphere, which is not the actual case in the real world. Other scientific stupidity in this movie is they keep insisting over and over again that you can somehow turn nitrogen into oxygen. Like nitrogen is a chemical that has oxygen in it, not an element. You can't turn nitrogen into oxygen. Just because our atmosphere is mostly nitrogen doesn't mean that you can turn it into oxygen. If you can, you have a nuclear reactor on you. So we start off with a whole bunch of people who are getting trained and going through this stuff. A lot of them start dying. Some of them go crazy, kill other people. And every time this happens, then the soldiers at the place where they're at shoot them, which was just really mind-bogglingly stupid. It's like you have an entire base whose focus seems to be to create these new beings, populated with soldiers who seem to just want to shoot them at the slightest, given the slightest reason. And this all culminates with there's only two of them left. They get fully converted into Homo Titanus. And then, for just the most... I'm going to keep saying this movie is stupid. For some strange, unknown reason, only known to the screenwriter, the two of them are sent back home before they're shipped off to Titan. Why are they sent home? I don't know. Because then, suddenly the scientist behind it all decides that, well, because one of them kills her husband and then gets shot. And then the other one, he now decides has to be, his mind needs to be destroyed so he has no memory of his wife and kids before he gets shipped off. So if the memory of the wife and kids are a problem, why did you have him bring the wife and kids to the base? And why did you just send them home to the wife and the kid? That still does not make any sense. And I don't know. I do not understand this movie. But I will say some of the actors were great. Like the main bad guy. I despise movies where scientists are the bad guys. Just because whoever wrote it decided that science is weird I don't understand it, so therefore, scientists must be bad. Anyway, I will give this movie. I don't give it a meh because it wasn't really mehful. So, what's one step up from meh?
Smile. Well, Smile's halfway
No.
between Matt and Schneike's. Grin, maybe?
Is Smirk below or
Either
above?
I think Smirk.
Smirk. Yeah,
Yeah,
Smirk.
that's why. Okay, Smirk it is. I will give this one a Smirk.
All right. I'll go next, Mike.
Okay.
All right. So, Titan, like Colin said, from the trailer, it looked like it was going to be good science fiction turned thriller horror film. All right, which is typically not my bag. All right, so I was apprehensive to watch this one from the beginning, but decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead and trudge through this thing. And, again, like Colin, kind of surprised that it didn't go as dark as it could have gone into the horror genre. All right, did get a little bit thrilly, weird when a couple of the subjects didn't quite work out and, went on a little bit of rampage, but they didn't go crazy with the blood and gore and guts and stuff like you would have expected them to when they were essentially making monsters. For lack of a better comparison, this is an Island of Dr. Moreau type riff, all right? They were genetically manipulating and, changing people to be able to survive on an alien planet. What I thought was weird about that part was that they weren't changing them like flicking a switch one way and then the other. No, they were now biplanetal. All right, they could live on Earth and on Titan, which I'm like, wait a second, how's that going to work from a genetic standpoint? Because that doesn't seem like those two would be terribly compatible. Normally, one is one and one is the other. All right, usually it doesn't go the other way. You don't take a fish, throw a set of lungs in him, and then flop him on the shore. All right, it just doesn't work that way. All right, millions of years of evolution there. And lots of steps in there. One of the bigger thing that I saw that was the disjoint for me was here, his wife, all right, the main character's wife. The main character was Rick Jensen. His wife, Dr. Abby Jansen. All right, doctor, interesting. But you see her unpacking all of her medical-related stuff. Pediatrician is what she is, folks. Pediatrician. But yet, halfway through the movie, she's looking through medical records of detailed genetic manipulation, and suddenly she knows exactly what's going on. All right? Helping somebody with a runny nose and a cough doesn't qualify you to understand, CRISPR. All right? That doesn't work. I don't care where you got your degree in the University of Mexico. All right? It doesn't work that way.
You have a medical doctorate. You don't have a doctorate.
Yeah. So, again, like Colin, Tom Wilkinson did a great job in playing the semi-mad scientist role here. He's played similar roles before like that. Wasn't a huge fan of most of the rest of the cast. Like I said, the two main, the female and the male lead here were great. Some of the secondary were good. But other than that, it was just an okay movie. It wasn't. I was hoping that it was going to get over by the time everything was said and done. I was just ready for it to end. There wasn't a whole lot of great comedy. There wasn't a whole lot of wonderful action. It just seemed to just keep droning on. And the end, again, semi-predictable and disappointing. Both at the same time, which how do you get that? We haven't had that in a long time. So I am going to go with a solid Matt on this because it's just not getting anything higher from me.
If it actually gone full horror, then I would have given it a Matt. I gave it a slightly higher just because they didn't.
Yeah, I just no interest. Mike, you're up.
Okay, so this is not in my notes, so I got to take issue with this here. And Mama Blair kind of is touching on this thought here. Pediatrician did have to go through all rotations. So maybe she was good at the theory stuff, but opted to take care of kids. Now, I am going to say that you were probably in the camp that Stu from The Hangover is not a doctor, he's a dentist. Okay? No, he's a freaking doctor specializing in dentistry.
Nah.
And what she was seeing had nothing to do with anatomy or any of that. She understood that they were, the notes show and the autopsy pictures showed that they were splicing other animals' genetic material into the subjects. That's where she lost her mind. Also, 2048, pediatricians might have different training and might understand some of this basic stuff. Now, I was sitting on this one. As Ken is saying, when the main guy lost the ability to speak, it didn't change anything because he just grunted the first half anyway. Now, that's because this is the first movie that Sam Worthington was in that was not in 3D. So it completely screwed up his method of acting. Think about it. Clash of the Titans. The sequel, Avatar, Terminator Salvation. Salvation? Yes. All 3D. He's the king of 3D. This movie, not in 3D. Screwed him up. Starts off with the basic premise of every sci-fi movie we have ever reviewed on this show. Earth is dying. We have to save it. However, this one flips the script a little bit. Instead of going and blowing the asteroid up or starting the Earth's core again, we're going to make it so you can go live somewhere else. We're not going to change that somewhere else. We're going to change you. Think about it. But the fundamental issue I have with all of this is the lead research dude. I don't remember his name. I don't care to remember his name. Keeps saying survival of the human race. But they're forcing evolution. So are they really human anymore? We kind of get the answer when we realize they've named us Homo Titanus. So how are you really saving the human race? Not human. So Sam, the main character, he's going through all this therapy, and they have sex in the pool, which leads me to the biggest disappointment of this movie. The one line that we did not hear that I was expecting to hear, I'm pregnant. And I wanted to see Powder Baby come out. Because in the end, we'll get to that in a minute. See hints that the houses are all bugged. Well, of course they are. Didn't any of these bastards see The Fly Part 2? Pool shedding all huge pieces of skin the size of pages from a magazine. Well, of course, that's not going to clog the filter at all. Okay, none of these pools have flood. None of them. Okay. Then she goes snooping in the lab. That always ends well. This is where we find out new species, Homo Titanus, not human anymore. You're killing the human race. You're not saving it. You're killing it. This is when he starts getting pale. He's turning into powder. Or the creatures from Prometheus. Crossed with Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen, because somebody out there noticed it. Became a eunuch at the end. Oh no, Dr. Manhattan was a eunuch. That was a big problem that people had with Watchmen, was giant blue penis. Somebody tell me how in the hell, and this ties to what one of the things Colin said. Somebody tell me how in the hell that lead doctor guy can say it's still the same person. No hair, no ears, can't speak, fingers joined together, toes all webbed, wings. And he says they can go home for 2 days before the launch. If I was the wife, I'd have been like, no, I'm good. Cool. Have a safe trip. Look me up when you get back. Mm-hmm. And then he did wind up going to Titan after all, where he flew. No, I mean this. I gave it a meh because this, and the only reason it didn't get lower, or really it was a meh. The entertaining part to me was kind of picking it apart because there was a lot of questions that I had, and a lot of things were kind of cool, but then there's nothing in it that made me say, you got to go see this movie. You got to watch this movie.
Yep.
If you're not a fan of one of the main actors or whatever, then okay. And Dr. Moreau here.
Yes. Yeah.
Dr. Moreau meets the astronaut's wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
In a way, there was also a little bit of the Lazarus effect in here.
Yeah.
The thing is, I liked the idea of instead of terraforming another planet, let's terraform ourselves for that other planet.
Yes.
But if you're going to adjust the human for a different environment, why not just adjust them to the new environment that you've turned the Earth into?
Good point.
Because the resources on Earth were depleted.
So
we have to go pillage and purge on another planet.
That's right.
So you
and part of the evolution was not, I don't think, was converting oxygen to nitrogen to oxygen. It was being able to breathe nitrogen the way humans breathe oxygen.
Yeah, but you can't do. Nitrogen does not burn anything.
Because you can genetically alter somebody in 2 months
to do something
become
which is chemically impossible.
Alien. All right, so here.
All right, so
Ken is writing this one in, and I just want to touch on one part about this here. Why in the future are women forced to wear high-waisted, wide-leg pleated pants? Okay, the high waist part, you can blame Taylor Swift for that, honey. Taylor Swift brought that fashion back, and that's all I'm going to say about that one. Let's move on to the goods.
All right.
Shall we?
So the goods, starring Jeremy Piven. I'll go first on this one if you guys don't mind.
Please do.
So it was nice after watching The Titan to get to a comedy. I will say that. It was very nice to watch a comedy, and Jeremy Piven we last saw on So Undercover. And it was nice to see him this time not as the bad guy, but as a dirtbag, which we're so used to seeing him as. So Jeremy Piven played Jeremy Piven in this role, and I really appreciated that. But it's not so much Jeremy Piven in this movie that you're concentrated on. It's all the other people that you're concentrated on. All right? It can even be Will Ferrell making cameos in this that you can be concentrated on. Because, yes, he does make an appearance or two. This is an interesting movie about a failing car lot that decides to bring in some closers to really revitalize and sell off a lot of cars because the bank's breathing down their necks. Enters Jeremy Piven's crew, which is Jeremy Piven, Ving Rhames, David Ketchner, and is it Giordano Spiro? No, not her. What's the other girl's name? Forget. I don't remember what the hell her name is. Anyway, the girl that was in love with the 10-year-old boy. That one. That was all great characters in and of themselves. All right. There really was lots of just ridiculously, sophomoric humor in this. There was some just blatant sexism in this, which was funny for me. This was a movie that I kind of enjoyed. So even things like beating up the Asian guy, funny little bit joke. Glad that they came to a resolution at the end. It was always good for me. So this one with an hour and 30-minute runtime seemed to me like they kind of forced the ending a little bit. They could have come up with a better way to finish it off. But for me, this one gets a smile because I probably will watch this one again.
I'll go really quick here. So this movie is rated R, because it has naked women in it. It has naked women in it because it's rated R. There doesn't seem to be any other reason why this movie's rated R, other than so they can stick naked women in it. That, to me, just seems a complete utter waste of being an R-rated movie. Come up with a better idea than that, because that. Anyway, funny movie. Not really my typical thing that I like to watch, but after watching Titan, it was an enjoyable thing to do. I don't have that much more to say about it. I gave it a smile too, because I enjoyed it, but I would never see it again.
So, all right. So I'll be quick. As I read the description of the movie, I had this feeling that for some reason, I had seen this movie before. Very beginning, legs and eggs. That's as American as, I don't know. All I know is there was a time where I would stop for legs and eggs after working the night shift. Why? Because it was cheaper to buy a beer and tip a stripper a couple bucks than it was to pay for a meal at the diner. The airplane scene in the beginning may very well have been the inspiration for Soul Plane and or the TV show LA to Vegas. James Brolin acting all gay really made me uncomfortable. I cannot even... there's no way to sugarcoat that at all. Every other scene, they're in a strip club. Probably where Jeremy Piven's bad rap started. The movie's got more celebrities in the early parts of their careers than a damn rerun of Dancing with the Stars. Felt like the young salesman was a plant. Maybe that's the plot twist I was looking for. True story, though, since we're talking about early careers or early actors in their careers. The stripper that was studying political science, Mindy Kaling, before she developed her allergy to peanuts and snozberries. The actress that plays Babs is always trying to sleep with the guy she shouldn't. Did anybody remember her from Step Brothers? Singing is enough to make me want to start a national movement to end karaoke everywhere forever. Who the hell brought an alligator? And then we get Will Ferrell as Abe Lincoln.
I like that scene. That's why I gave it a smile.
It was still a better Abe Lincoln. I feel like he should have been FDR in American Badass, and maybe I would have watched the movie.
That's a remake I like to see.
I actually also gave this a smile. It was entertaining in a weird kind of way. I agree with Colin. I think this would be a relatively easy movie to edit and put on TV, because there was like 3 or 4 scenes where there were naked women, actual naked women, and none of them were actually needed for the storyline.
Just throw on some pasties in the strip club, and I think you're in good shape.
And delete the scene where everybody's watching the in-room entertainment.
Yeah.
And make a slight tweak to the plot to have it make any sense whatsoever. Because, okay, how did the fiance and the owner of the other, his father, the owner of the other lot,
Alan Thicke.
Yeah, Alan Thicke. How did those two characters inject themselves into the bet in any way at all? The bet was between the owner of the lot and the Jeremy Piven character going, I'll get all these cars sold. Don't get rid of your lot. I was like, oh, okay, great. Then they show up at the end and go like, oh, you didn't sell that one car, therefore you lose the lot. It's like, how do we lose the lot? How do you have anything to do with it? Where in the legal rules are, oh, we heard 2 people have a bet, one of them lost, so therefore we're going to take all their stuff.
Oh, well.
Well, no, okay, because the 2 owners reached a deal to sell the lot.
Right.
Piven says, don't do it.
So he doesn't.
I'll sell. No, Piven says, don't do it. I'll sell all of these cars on the lot on the weekend. Brolin's like, no. Piven says, I'll let you have what's his name for a night. Okay.
Right. That's
Deal's off
but that's
for the
between
weekend.
Piven and Brolin.
No, well, that was between Piven and Brolin so that Brolin would break off his agreement to sell to Thick.
Right. So why does Thick get to show up later and say you lost the bet? Because the thing is between Piven and Brolin. Thick has no foot in the...
Well, okay, because he didn't sell all the cars on the lot, now Brolin has to sell him the lot.
Why?
So, because they had the agreement. That was the agreement.
You don't... you can't handshake selling a business like that.
Now you're just nitpicking.
That's a huge nit. That's my problem.
All right, folks.
We didn't pick the movies.
Colin's not going to be here for the next
I'm
show.
not going to be here for the next show, so...
Oh.
So I think we may have to put off the movies for the next show.
Or pick movies that I've watched many times and you guys haven't seen before. We'll talk about it after the show.
Yeah, so we'll put together something. But anyway,
Oh, well, that's interesting because he's not going to be here on the 7th. I'm not going to be here on the 21st.
Oh. Okay, well, maybe we'll just reschedule the next show.
Be in between.
When are you going to... Well, I'll tell you what. We'll pick movies and pick a date that's off of, those two dates.
Yeah, just 14th.
When we're... Okay, so we're going to come back on the 14th. We're going to do a show off order on the 14th. Mike, are you available on the 14th?
Yeah.
All right, I guess we're going to do our next show on the 14th. And for the night of the 14th, Mike, our two shows are going to be... We'll do this now. What the hell? What is it? 1 to 31 still?
1 to 33.
1 to 33. 15?
Bushwick.
And 33.
Undocumented executive? Who the hell put this on the list?
I don't know, but
I don't know.
it might have been me. So, Tony Giraro.
Bring the video up.
So, let's see here. Let's see.
Please be subtitled. Please be subtitled.
Oh, I can't load that one. Let's see if we can find this another way.
Scandal rocks Wall Street, and immigration pits neighbor against neighbor. One man comes from south of the border to bring order to the universe.
Hi,
I'm Haki.
I got you a job painting offices. Oh, are you here for the interview?
I'm here for a job.
They're interviewing for the job down this way.
Yeah, it's not a habit, man.
Indeed. Don't let that intimidate you.
Okay.
For all we know, you could have gone to Yale.
That's true.
Yes, I did. I did go to jail.
Yale?
But it wasn't my fault. It was the kid.
You'll find it is a very comfortable environment.
Yeah, those nits are pain.
The guy that you hired, he's not who you think he is.
You need to be a team player on this.
I don't even think that he's legal.
I think you need to watch the HR video again.
You actually have been hired as the main account.
Remember the one we watched about the cat
Yeah, executive.
that talked to people?
Yes.
I think this is similar.
HR contacted me about Mr. Gutierrez. Apparently he has to retake his drug scan.
He failed?
Well, he didn't fail. He just, he provided them the wrong kind of sample.
Okay.
He's pulling us over. Just be cool.
Why?
Because he'll deport us. Are you okay?
This must be payback for earlier in the show. So that's Undocumented Executive. And Mike, what was the other one?
Bushwick on Netflix.
Bushwick trailer.
Wow, we're really gonna do that, huh? Okay.
I don't know what else to do.
I don't know how to use a gun.
You look down the barrel. You line up excited. And not until you're ready. You put your finger on the trigger and you shoot.
Where'd everybody go?
What the hell is going on?
All right.
Oh, God.
Are you okay? Can you tell me your name?
Lucy.
Why are you in
Wait a
Bushwick?
second.
I live here. There's like a whole army
I know who
out
that
there
is.
just killing people.
That's
Do you know
Dave
what's going
Bautista.
on?
Yeah.
They declared martial law. Not just here, everywhere.
It's Drax the Destroyer.
I need you to help me.
I can't do this.
5 seconds, okay?
The balloon was recently intercepted by government officials.
Texas is seceding from the United States. We didn't anticipate so much resistance.
They think we won't fight back?
There were supposed to be so many guns.
Welcome to New York, stupid motherfucker.
Some people know better than to
I think this is
stick around
R.
in the war zone. Helicopters, tanks. You don't remember the 70s.
The U.S. Army is evacuating people out here. We can get out of here.
It's our neighborhood.
My boys are tough.
We need to stick together, but we need to go now. We're not gonna make it, are we?
Well, that's interesting.
Make it one block at a time.
Well, looks better than the first one.
Yeah, I mean, comparatively, that's great. No wonder it won Sundance.
Okay, Mama Blair bringing up a valid concern.
Well, you know, if we start we've been on a roll of vetoing movies here, Mike.
That has all the benchmarks of ones we veto, though.
Okay, so do we want to pick another one?
I mean-
I will gladly fire up the random number generator again.
Yeah, let's pick a different one.
Okay, so
Especially for whether we're going to have so much time to...
all right, how about boy, it really wants us to do that. How about 12, Mike?
Hold on. 12 is To Fool a Thief.
All right. 2013 movie, I think. Well, we'll have to make sure that it's still available. Is that on Netflix or is that on?
Yeah, it's Netflix. And I kind of hope it is because the description says heist buddy movie. So this meets both of your...
Yeah. I love a good heist movie.
Let's see here.
Heck, I love
Come on.
I love bad heist movies.
To Fool a Thief does not look like it's available anymore.
Check Amazon.
To Fool the Thief. Nope, I'm not seeing it. Nope, it's $2.99. It's not free.
Okay, randomize again.
All right, we're going again. 17, Mike. I guess I should have made sure that other one was available still. What?
Absolutely anything on Netflix. British comedy.
Ah. So let's see here. Hopefully the... Come on, type. Yep, it's still available.
Okay.
His wish for omnipotent powers was granted. Several calamities later, he's starting to wish it hadn't been.
So it's a British Bruce Almighty.
Kind of. But
Okay.
it's got the guy from Paul and the new Star Trek movies.
Simon Pegg, and it's directed by Terry Jones. So
Screenplay by Gavin Scott. So, I mean, and he's done some good stuff in the past.
Terry Jones is Monty Python. So
Yeah, but we know how racist Mike is against the Brits.
Nope, I am not going to veto it just because it's British.
You know. All right, so absolutely anything, and the other one with Drax the Destroyer.
yes, sounds good.
That's what we're in for. All right, and now we can tell people our next show will be the 14th. But don't worry, because it's not going to be a desert of content until then. You will have some On the Road Again segments, as well as some other little things that pop up on the podcast feed, as well as our YouTube and Facebook channel. So don't you worry. There'll still be stuff for you to enjoy. You just need to make sure to subscribe. And to subscribe, just go to ptrradio.com and sign up for the podcast. You can also like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you will get notifications when we put anything out. So, with that said, I'm Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I'm Mike the Ape Man.
Stick a fork in us, folks. We are done. Later.